How's your cell service at home? Even here in Austin, mine's pretty bad. And a couple of weeks ago, when we had the citywide Spectrum outage, I was trying to tether to my cell phone for internet access, and I didn't have service inside my house. So I was really happy when I got contacted by this company to check out their cell phone booster. So let's take a look. This is the HiBoost cell phone repeater. They say it's 4G and 5G compatible, and it's got some pretty neat designs. So let's take it apart and see what you get. So, user's manual, power cord. Here's the actual booster itself. This is a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antenna port because there's an app that interfaces with the unit. It's in a really nice case. It's metal and has a really good solid feel to it. I was actually a distributor for other cell phone boosters many years ago, and they had a very kind of cheap feel. So power connection, indoor, outdoor antenna. That's an N connector, I think it is, for you nerds out there. We've got indoor cable, yeah, it's SMA to N. So here's a short one. Now they include something really interesting and very thoughtful. This is a thin jumper to connect the inside and the outside, or the outside antenna wire to the inside cabling, and it's thin so that way it can go through your window. So you can close your window or your door on top of it, hopefully close it all the way. That's very thoughtful. Outside cable. I know this is the bracket for the antenna. Longer inside cable. Here's the antenna for the Wi-Fi. Inside antenna, so this is what goes inside your house, you know, it aims down or aims forward. Some weatherproof stripping. Some screws. This is the directional outside antenna. So you need to aim this at a tower. It's going to be very, very, very specific. And the app will tell you what direction the towers are. And then the other half of the power supply. So this is pretty easy. So I'm actually going to climb up in the attic of my house and put this thing in and see how it works. Here's the outside antenna all assembled. So it's designed to be a pole mount, like a TV antenna. And as I mentioned, it's going to be very, very specific. You got to aim it exactly at a tower. So since I'm in a rental house, I'm going to have to figure out a temporary mount, but I got some ideas.
Part of the problem is the metal film. I have reflective insulation in my attic, which is just making a big shield for the signal coming in. That is not helping me much. Well, I didn't get it nearly where I wanted it or how I wanted it, but you know, it's the best we can do right now. And let's fire it up, see what happens.
So does it work? So I've got the booster plugged in and aiming at my phone. Oh, 9 down. I know that that is not impressive, but it's better than what I was getting. Well, I've been fooling around this thing for about 30 minutes, and unfortunately I don't have any amazing video to show to you, but I think I figured out kind of what my problems are. Number one is that my attic has metal-backed foam insulation on the inside. So since I'm in a rental house, I'm limited on what I can do installation-wise. So by putting the exterior antenna in the attic, it's aiming straight into that metal back insulation. The other issue is that the tower that I need to be aiming at is that direction, and the houses in my neighborhood are all about the same height. And so the antenna is not only blasting into the metal of my roof, but also the neighbor's roof next to them. So if I owned this house and I could get up on the roof and put a tripod or a DirecTV mount up there, I could get above the metal, the insulation, and above the neighbor's house. When I plug it in and when I unplug it, I can see a difference in the signal strength meter on my phone. It's not worth kind of showing to you, but I can see it changing from like negative 20 dB or from negative 80 dB to negative 20 and back and forth. I'm also right on the line between 4G and 5G, and so the signal's kind of confused as to which tower and what signal it should be picking up. So I'm just not in a good space here and not in a good installation environment. So what do I think of this thing? Well, it's really, really well built. The metal housing is really nice. And like I said, I have some previous experience with these things. So very well built, very thoughtful design. I really like that thin jumper for going through windows and doors. So, and the cables are all pretty long, which is nice because you have to separate the inside antenna from the outside antenna. If they're too close together, you get a feedback loop. So the wires are pretty long. So the thing was put together pretty well. I've played with this thing quite a bit and actually took it out to some friends' property and tested it out there. The key things to remember is that the outside antenna has to be directly aimed at a tower. There's multiple different apps out there, if you're a Google person, on the Android marketplace for cell phone tower locator. And I've tried 4 or 5 of them. They all kind of have their pros and cons. How I found the tower here where I live was just driving around. I happened to be at Sonic of all places, and I was playing on my phone and realized I was on full signal strength and looked up and, hey, the tower's right there. So then I went to Google Maps, put a pin in my house, a pin in where the Sonic was, and then drew a line, and Google Earth will give you a directional coordinate of where you need to aim it at. The booster has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built into it. I didn't really get the app to work the way that I wanted given my situation, but the app will actually show you signal strength. That's how it's designed, is that you associate your phone to the booster through the app and then wiggle your antenna around like a DirecTV satellite dish till you get good signal. Since I'm doing this by myself, I didn't have enough hands. So I mapped where the tower was and then aimed it using a compass. So does it work? It does. It did increase my signal strength. Unfortunately here for my particular situation, which was very unique, I didn't get the results that I really wanted, but it does function. And I did see an improvement in signal. And out at my friend's place in the country, we went from essentially no service, between no service and, 1/10 of a bar, to 1 bar or so. And that was enough to send text messages and to make phone calls with. And he's way out in the country. And we didn't even get it up as high as we could have. So it is an improvement. I will also say that these people's this company's customer service and their technical support is pretty good. I think they're US based because they had a Texas address. I got a phone number for them and I was texting with them. There's all sorts of little settings inside of the amp, some configurations that you can do that will improve things if you're having difficulties. So I am impressed with the design. I'm impressed with the support. I can't guarantee this is going to be a magic bullet for you because everyone's situation is different. So remember, get it up high and you got to aim it at a tower. But check out the link below and give this thing a shot. If you're in a weak signal area and need a boost, I think this is a great product to give a try to. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.